then imagine somebody takes you by the hand and says, I'm going to show you how to generate leads on real estate investors, people who, once you have deals, you'll be able to flip your deals to for $5,000 or $10,000 or more. Sometimes you'll only make $2,000, $3,000 on a deal, but it doesn't really matter because that happens automatically too. You just send out an email, text, voice blast, or postcard to your entire list, and boom, it's taken care of. And yes, it also sends out snail mail with the click of a button automatically without you ever having to lick a stamp or go to the printer or the post office. That's something I'll cover on another day. Okay, it sounds great, right? But let me tell you about the problem I'm having. I'm going to go back a little bit because what I just told you is the sexy part of the system. It's how I do business today, but for a long time, I did real estate investing the traditional way. I went out and pounded the pavement. I hired real estate agents. I made cold calls. I went to foreclosure sales and went to the county recorder. I did it the traditional way, and it worked. It made me lots of money, but it took a lot of time, and I got kind of burned out. So for a while there, I decided to teach it instead of doing it. That's when my information marketing business started and became more and more successful. Everybody wanted to learn what I knew, and I had a blast teaching it and making a pile of money, and lots of my students made their own piles of money. But there were a lot of my students who were not making money. The reason they didn't was because they didn't do the work. The reason they didn't do the work, for some reason, life got in the way. For most, though, it was fear. They'd get a deal and then freeze up and not close it. I still see this happen with people who aren't in my mentor program, who use my auto marketer. They get all these incredible leads, but then freeze up and don't do anything with them. They don't even call them back, even when the message from the seller is, I want to give you my home. So I get frustrated seeing this. I thought that the best way to get them going was to sit down with them, get in the same room, and force them to do deals. That's how the buy-in events came into being, and it got a lot of my students out of their fear, and it got them doing deals, lots of deals. But then something else came from this group, which I've already talked about, new ideas. Everybody was working on a very high level with this stuff and coming up with new ideas, methods, and techniques. They'd run them past me, and I'd help them tweak them and improve them and flesh them out. And sometimes I'd tell them, oh, don't do that, it's not going to work. And they'd do it anyway, and it would work, and we would add it to our system. I'd also help them write the copy they needed to make them work and help them build the web pages they needed to make it work. That's where these automation methods came from. The combination of my information marketing and internet marketing skills, my past 35 years of real estate experience, and this powerful, profitable mastermind group, my 6-month mentor students. Okay, now I have already shown you that doing real estate deals and making $5,000 to $20,000 per deal is very doable, very realistic, but let me share something that is very important with you. I've already told you how many deals I'm doing in this business, but what if you did a tiny fraction of what I'm doing? Let's say it took you 6 months to get to the place where you're doing only $7,000 or $8,000 extra per month. And you don't have to be limited to that, but would that be worth your while? That's nearly $100,000 a year, by the way. I expect for most of you, it would. So here's how to make that happen. The strategies and systems in the mentor program and the auto marketer that I teach is totally unavailable anywhere else because we invented it. One of the great things about real estate investing is that it's a fairly mature market. There are a lot of people out there teaching how to be real estate investors, and a lot of people are making money in this business, but some of them are doing a lot more work and taking a lot more risk than others. One of the bad things about it is that most of the so-called gurus out there don't know a thing about technology. They don't even know the difference between an autoresponder and an email or a web page and an opt-in form. If you don't know it, you sure can't teach it. I still use tried and true methods I learned or discovered from way back in the 80s. But a lot has changed since then with marketing, and I've added a lot to my business to make my life easier. But the fact is, that what I'm offering to you in my mentor program is not available anywhere else in the world. One of the powerful things about the things I teach in my mentor program is that it doesn't matter if you're an absolute newbie when it comes to computers or the internet. In fact, when I created this program, I taught with the assumption that everybody signed up because they needed to bring in cash with very little time and effort. Life gets in the way, and most of you have full-time jobs. Now, what I teach can't be done with no effort. This is active investing, after all. You have to do something. You'll need 8 to 10 hours a week to get going. Eventually, you'll be able to quit your job and play with real estate deals full-time if you want to. Please, let me make this clear. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a business-building program, and if you treat it like a business, you'll make money. You have to take action on what you learn, or you won't make a dime. I'm not going to lie to you. You can learn this business and start making money pretty quickly. I tell everyone who starts, give yourself 3 to 4 months to get going. Yeah, I know. I've had lots of students who make money in a week or 10 days from the time they start, but they're the exception, not the rule. I'm going to get you going immediately. You should be making offers in your first week if you follow my instructions. I'm not going to let grass grow under your feet. I'm going to expect you to keep up and to keep moving forward. The more you do, the more you learn, and the more money you'll make. I'd also like you to come to my next buying event. And I want to warn you now that I'm not going to be doing these forever, so you should come before I stop. You aren't required to come to the event. All the info I give you at the event will be covered in the mentor program, but I know that if you come to this event, you're more likely to succeed. It's also good for you to come because I'll get you to get to meet you face to face and to talk with you. The telephone's wonderful, but there's nothing like actually seeing someone in person. It helps me connect with you and remember who you are and hopefully become your friend as well as your teacher. It'll also allow you to meet the other investors in my group. If you don't get support from the folks at home, there's nothing like having a group of like-minded people who are willing to share ideas and grow their businesses together. And these people are learning from me, so the knowledge they have will be head and shoulders above any other investment group you've dealt with in the past. Again, this event is just for those in my 6-month mentor program. No one else is allowed in the room. If you join this program, you'll be invited to all of these private sessions that I hold during your 6 months of training. And if you want to keep coming to these events and have access to me on my bi-weekly conference calls and be able to email me questions, you can stay in my Inner Circle program for a small monthly cost. I suggest that you try to attend all of the events that are held during your 6 months. We're going to cover different bonus topics at each of these events, in addition to some of the core material you need to do business every day. At the event, I'll sit down with you and we'll buy houses together, right there in the conference room. You're going to learn by doing. Although there are a lot of other reasons to attend, that one thing is the bottom line. Everyone there will be making offers on houses. Everyone. If you want to just sit and observe, you can't come. I don't mean to sound like a hard guy here. I really am a pushover sometimes, but I'll tell you truly, I only want folks there who want to come, who will do the work necessary, and who want to reap the rewards of financial wealth, self-esteem, adulation, personal growth, and freedom. The rewards of true success. You will accomplish things at this event that before you came, you didn't even believe possible. Even if you don't do a thing after you leave this program, you'll know that you can do it because you did do it while you were here. After that, there'll be no more excuses for why you can't succeed. You'll leave with the knowledge and with a certainty that will allow you to quit whining about how miserable you are and really get to work building a future that you want to live in. We're going to put together deals. I've done it before, many times. Remember how I told you earlier that I took 48 students, most of them still wet behind the ears, and showed them how to buy properties? We're going to do it again. Here's what we're going to do at the buying event.